Hey YouTube, let's talk about some miscellaneous traps. Have you ever heard of a dog-proof trap or a Cororo trap, or how about gopher traps? Let's talk about those today. Let's start off with a Cororo trap, or it's a Cororo trap, sorry, not Toro. But anyway, this is a pretty handy dandy rat trap is what I'll call it, or squirrel or chipmunk, something along those lines. You can probably even catch rabbits, things like that, but I don't usually try to catch any rabbits, but you could probably do that. Anyway, this is a Cororo trap. It kind of works kind of like the Conifer bear trap. I did a video on how a Conifer bear trap works. It kind of works like that. It's got the same little safety right here. And what you're going to do is you're going to this is the arm and this is the pan. So what you're going to do is push this arm. You're going to push the arm down, and then you're going to connect it into this pan right here, and you're going to make it about as flush as you can to the bottom, so it's pretty trigger, pretty uh like a feather trigger. And then what happens is you're going to bait it. So before you set it, of course, just put bait on this, or hang bait over here, depending on what you're trying to do, what you're trying to catch. It depends on whether you're going to put rocks or whatever on the sides where it has to go in through the front to get caught. But anyway, you're going to bait it up. What I do is I usually cover both sides, and then I bait in the back here where the screen is. That's why I added the screen. The screen didn't come with this, but I added it. And then what happens is they'll come in, and when they step on this pan to get the food in the back, then this bar will come down and it'll catch them. So I'll try to do this without getting myself whacked. Get a little stick. When they come in, let me do it on this chair where you can see it. If they were to come in and then hit this trigger, then see they get caught. Then all you're going to do is you're going to pick this up. Well, raise this bar first. You're going to pick this up and then put this safety back on. And then you're ready for whenever the next trap is. But this is a pretty neat trap. It's called a Cororo trap. So if you like fancy rat traps, this is it. And once it's caught in here, it ain't like a regular little mouse trap or rat trap. It ain't getting out. But that's the Cororo trap. You can use it for squirrels, rabbits, chipmunks, rats, whatever. This is what they call a dog-proof trap. So it's mainly for raccoons, because raccoons can reach their hand in here. You're going to fill it full of food, and they can reach their hand in here and set the trigger off. This one is a dual trigger, so it's either pull up or push down. If I was worried about catching skunks or things like that, I would make sure that I didn't have this dual trigger. I only had one that you could pull up, because to be honest, raccoons are about the only thing that can reach their hand in and grab it and pull it up. Most skunks and things like that, I'm not saying you won't ever catch one, but most skunks will reach in and they'll push down on the trigger, and if it's a single pull up trigger, then you'll never catch a skunk. But I have caught skunks on a single, so it's just one of those things. But your chances are very slim. You got a better chance of catching anything with a dual trigger. If they stick their hand in there and push down on that trigger or pull up, they're getting caught. But the way you set this is you just pull this in, and then you pull that down, and then what happens is you have this little trigger right here, and you're going to set it on the bottom right there, and that way you have a dual trigger. So if they push up, or if I'm sorry, you can't see, If you set it like this, if they push up, it'll catch them because it'll let this go. And if they push down, it'll go. If they pull up, it'll go. So this is how it's set right there. So now this is set. And you can see inside, what you're going to do is fill it full of bait. And you see that little lever inside? They either pull that lever up or push it down, and they get caught. And I'll get a stick and show you how that works. So what you do, here's a stick. If this stick goes in here, and let's go ahead and I'll see if this little latch here will let me pull it up. Let me see if this thing on the stick. Okay, so now I'm in there. If I pull up, it'll go off and it's caught. And then, let me reset it. And I pulled up on it. Let me do it again. Well, if you're setting these all day, they'll wear you out. Okay. So now I get my stick. And now on the same thing, if you push down on that trigger, so there you have it. That's a dog-proof trap. And it's mainly, like I said, for raccoons. Now, gopher traps, I don't buy the store-bought traps. I don't like them because the store-bought traps are big, like this trap here. This one is the bigger trap of the two, and it just seems like the hole for the gopher hole needs to be big in order for this trap. But I'm going to try to walk you through how to set this. What you do is you unhook it, and then you open the jaws up. You put this over the top of that, and then you'll put it through this hole right here and push this down, and then you wind it like this, and then you'll pull it up where it's flush. Now this is set, but see, this is a big one. This is like what you'd get at the store, and the tunnel has to be that big for you to put this in there to catch a gopher. So my recommendation is the smaller trap because it'll work. It'll catch big gophers or small gophers. Okay, once it's set, you put this in the tunnel. Once the gopher runs through the tunnel, he hits this right here, and then he's caught. And I want to show you the difference between these two. This is the smaller one. So here they are side by side, but the smaller one is the one I recommend because the tunnel can be smaller. You don't have to dig the tunnel out at all. And I like it better. Now, if there is a big tunnel and this will fit, then yeah, I put it in there. But I like the smaller one better. But it works the same way. They run through, they hit this, and they're caught. So that's the two different gopher traps that I use. And like I said, I used to own a nuisance animal removal business, and we used to trap thousands and thousands of gophers a year. We used to do contracts at residential and businesses. So I stand by those traps. Uh, the place to get those traps is online, and I'll put a link below on where to get those traps. And that's the only place I know to get them. And I've ordered thousands of traps from him, and they're stainless steel, so they'll never rust. So they're the way to go. They're definitely better than the Victor traps or whatever you get at the store. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit like and subscribe. And till next time, happy hunting, happy trapping. Get out there and live life. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.